Hello again. Today we are going to teach you how to make chili, which is a type of a soup that is very popular all over the United States. However, if you say chili to someone in one part of the United States, they might have a different idea than what someone in another part of the United States is going to have. Chili is something that everybody knows what it is, but everyone also has their own recipe on how to make it. Today I'm going to show you how to make my recipe, which is actually a vegetarian or meatless chili. But if you go to other places or parts of the United States, you will see chili that has every kind of meat that you can think of. You will see chili that has every kind of vegetable that you can think of. You can even see chili that is a white chili that has chicken in it. So it's up to you how you like your chili. I like mine the vegetarian way, and that's how we're going to make it today. So what you need for a vegetarian chili, the basic staple that you have to have for any chili, except for the white chili of course, is going to be your tomato base. And so I'm going to use today both a can of tomatoes and I'm also going to use some fresh tomatoes that I bought here locally. Then the second thing that you need for a vegetarian chili is beans. Any kind of beans that you have, that's the kind of beans that you should use. I particularly like to get that chili flavor from beans that are already in a chili sauce. And so I have both the red beans and the white beans in the chili sauce. If you can find them in the chili sauce, great. If you can't, you'll just add chili powder later. No big deal. I also really like to add in garbanzo beans. Sometimes you can find them here, sometimes you can't. If you find them, buy them, put them in your cupboard, and then use them when you make chili. It's really good. Also, just to add a little bit more of that tomato flavor, have a little bit of tomato paste. And then because this is a vegetarian chili, I also want to add a couple more types of vegetables. So I'm going to add onion, I'll have a little bit of garlic, and if my husband was here, he'd ask me to put in a couple of these little spicy chilies. Because I'm here and I'm making it today, I'm not putting them in. But if he was here, I would put them in just for him because he likes them. Also, just to finish off, a little bit of salt and pepper. That's what you need to make a vegetarian chili. Chili is almost as easy to put together as meatloaf was. In fact, it might even be easier because half of chili is just opening the cans, which I've already done. Sometimes you have this flip up top, sometimes you have the screw top. It doesn't matter. Open your cans of chili, or your cans of ingredients to put in your chili. So it's all you're gonna do. You're just gonna put it in. I do not generally drain these things. Some people do, but see, there's a whole bunch of really nice goo in here. That's what makes the chili good. So, especially with these beans, if you have the chili type sauce in there, make sure that's going into your chili. That's where you're gonna get some of your good chili flavor. So far I've put in the can of tomatoes, one of the can of red beans. This was just my white beans. I really like red beans, so I'm gonna put in more red beans. If you really like the white beans, put in the white beans more. It doesn't really matter. The only of the beans that I do drain are the garbanzo beans. And so if you don't have garbanzo beans, you're not going to drain them. It's no big thing. Again, we're just putting in more of the tomatoey goodness. So you can put in all of this now. You can put in half of this now. It's completely up to you. But I'm just going to put it all in because I know I'm going to want it all in there because I really like very tomatoey chili. So once you have all your canned goods put in, you are going to have just your chili base, which is just a really thick kind of paste. It's chili. This is what it's going to look like, but it really looks good to those of us who like chili. Next, you're going to take your knife, and if you're going to put in your fresh tomatoes, all you're going to do is just cut them up into smaller pieces. And when I was a kid, my mom had to be really careful with us because we didn't like things or chunks in our chili. So she actually had to grind up the beans just to get us to eat the chili. Now that I'm more of an adult, I don't mind these, and so I'm actually just going to cut the tomato here into really pretty big pieces. They will cook down, so they will reduce in size as they cook. But why make it hard on yourself? Why dice something when you can just thickly chop it? So I'm just going to thickly chop these into smaller pieces and put that in there as well, just for a little bit more of a fresh tomato flavor. If you don't like fresh tomatoes, or if you don't have them on hand, don't worry about it. Just add more of the canned tomatoes, and it's not a big deal at all. Once you have your tomatoes chopped, put into your chili, just coarsely chop an onion. Again, if you have people in your family who like smaller chop it smaller. If the people in your family don't care, then why do all the work of finely chopping something when you can just chop it thinly? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to thinly chop And once again, put it all in there. For the garlic, you're probably going to want to chop it just a little bit thinner, just because big pieces of garlic you get to have just a little bit of garlic flavor, or a lot of garlic flavor in a little piece. And so for me, I like to chop the garlic just a little bit smaller, but again, I'm not all that concerned about the size. It's all going to end up mixing together once you get it into the pot anyway, so again, just taking your garlic. I'm going to put in, probably it was a medium-sized onion, and I would say 3 cloves of garlic are going to go into the chili before it's over. At this point, you have your chili base. You have your tomatoes in various forms, you have your beans, you have your other vegetables as you like them, and you can basically add anything else that you want. If you want to add any sort of a ground meat, a stewed meat, this would be a good time to add it. If you have other vegetables, specifically peppers, you're certainly welcome to add them at this time as well. And if when you have those cans, you want to make sure you keep at least one of the cans nearby, because you can actually use that to add more water. As this cooks, the water is going to evaporate, and you're going to want to keep adding in water just to replace that. So, and if you use the can, that's a good way to get all those extra special juices out of there that you had in there before. The last thing you're going to do before you put it onto the stove is add your salt and pepper to taste. Again, if you have a family that really likes to consume salt or pepper, go for it. If not, don't use very much. I like to use the freshly ground just because it's a little bit more aromatic. But if you just have the regular salt and pepper from your table, that's perfectly fine too. So that's how you do it. Chili, it's so easy. Just take the things out of the cans, put them into the pot. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it onto your oven at about medium heat. Cook it for about an hour and it'll be ready to serve. But here's a hint. If you cook it today, let's say you've already made your dinner for today, it's in the oven, fine. Put your chili on, let it cook. Let it cook while you eat, let it cook till you go to bed, and then stick it in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow, when it's time for dinner, about an hour before, take it out of the fridge, heat it back up. All these flavors that we put in will have had time to kind of mellow and blend together. It is oh so good if you let it set for a day. Ways to serve chili. Well, you can always serve it in a bowl. It is a soup, bowl, spoon, easy. You can put whatever you want to into your chili. I prefer a little bit of shredded cheese, a little bit of cracker. My mother used to put milk into her chili, and my husband's favorite way to eat it is to actually pour it over a hot dog. So whatever way you like to eat your chili is great, but I hope you make it and leave us a comment and let us know how it turned out for you.